I'm sitting in my mudroom because I just brought in a bucket of carrots, hopefully baby carrots. I have another bucket out there that has larger, but I happen to know these didn't make it that far, so they're baby carrots, which would be perfect for the dinner I'm going to make tonight. Fermented leaves have completed. It's been 2 weeks and a little bit, so I've jarred those and put them in the fridge, and they're ready. It's ready to be eaten. So that's what my dinner is going to be. Probably just, you know, the sauerkraut layer, pork, garlic, onions, potatoes, carrots, roasted in the oven. And it's twofold what I want this bucket for, and then why I'm taking the small ones. Because I have forgotten actually, to put my Jerusalem artichokes in storage. So I'm going to use the dirt that's in this bucket just to store my Jerusalem artichokes over winter. So I'll get at these carrots and see what we've got. Hopefully they're of a size enough to do a dinner, or else I'll have to get into the other bucket. But let's see what I've got in here. All right, here they are, and the plants are far tinier than I thought, than I remembered. So these are going to be small. I may have to go to the other bucket. Anyways, let's take them out because I need it for my Jerusalem artichokes, which are right now stored in my fridge. Oh. Okay, we have to dig. Really black soil. See how little they grew, but yeah, cute. Okay. I left the leaves on these because I knew I'd never find the carrots when it came time to dig them out. Ideally, I think you should trim the leaves off, but they haven't stored that long. The other ones I hope to get out more towards Christmas time. I'll throw in the clip, by the way, of just showing you how I fermented the leaves. It's really a sauerkraut type thing, but it's fermented leaves. Oh, that is cute. Okay, I believe that's it. I'll wash them off and see if I have enough. I don't think I do. But then again, it's just Bruce and I. Yeah, it's probably enough. And I'll get the chokes. So all I'm going to do with Jerusalem artichokes, take them out of the fridge, bury them down in here, just dampen it ever. It's got a little bit of dampness in it, but just a bit more dampness in it. And then that's it. I'll forget about them till early spring when I dig these out to put them in the garden. I think they'll be just perfect for what I'm cooking, and I will gather some of these smaller potatoes that I have in storage to go with these, similar cooking time, throw them in toward the end, and won't they be picture perfect on a platter. It's early in the morning. I've got to get these leaves processed, so I'm making sauerkraut. This is the hodgepodge of leaves that I gathered late in the garden, and this is Brussels sprout leaves, cabbage leaves, and broccoli leaves. So I'm going to use that assortment. I've weighed off. Per pound, I'm using 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of salt. No, not tablespoons, sorry, teaspoons. I'll see how that goes. And then I'll mash it down into my jar. All right, I have pounded with my handy dandy multi-use thing I made and massaged the leaves both so they're
there's juice in the bottom now, but I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes before I put it in my jar and then again push it down. Hopefully there's enough juices there and I'll come back to you. So there we go, I've tamped it down. I think I made it a bit bubbly when doing that, but I'm gonna add my glass weight, which will of course keep it submerged. I'll make sure that, there we go. And I've got the jars with the nice release cap on them. So all done. I'll check that in about 4 days, and I'm no authority on this by any means. The flavor, I have to tell you already, is pretty tasty. So I think I'm going to really enjoy these greens. I shouldn't call it a sauerkraut, of course. It's more like sour leaves. And this lid will allow the natural gases to release. So if you're not using a lid, of course, like this, then just make sure you're opening it up and releasing, or burping, or whatever they might call that. So I'll put it away, and it should sit for probably 2 weeks. Actually, with these leaves, I really have to check. It could be less. I actually felt productive on this day. I did 2 French loaves, did the final filter of my apple scrap vinegar, and bottled it up. It's fine, complete, ready to go, and finished the greens. Well, talk about using up your tiny bit leftovers. So tiny carrots, tiny onions, tiny Brussels sprouts, tiny potatoes. Well, not so tiny garlic, but so that will all go with my leaves that I scrounged around out in the garden. Just to repeat, this is cabbage leaves, not much though, broccoli leaves, and Brussels sprout leaves. So there might be collards in there too, I'm not sure. And that's going to be the base for my meal. So I don't get discouraged when I see tiny things come out of my garden. I actually save them specifically for meals like this. So I have added a little bit of my homemade apple cider vinegar to this. I'm going to put, as I said, some quickly browned pork on top of this. But for anybody who's a vegetarian, you know, you can put in anything you'd like to top off. You can put a little bit of brown sugar, by the way, or honey or something to sweeten. I'm sticking with the fermented sourish flavor. That's why I went with the cider vinegar, but you can add apples here also. And just lovely, healthy meal using up all those tiny vegetables you might have around.